Hey guys, been a while. Haven't made a video in a hot minute. Just haven't had a chance to. Been very busy. Been doing a lot of shit. But wanted to make this video about Avatar Legends. I'm a huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. One of my favorite pieces of media ever created. Love that show. It's an absolute masterpiece. Oh, I'm not sorry for that. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Um, but I've already seen the trailer. I've already watched the trailer multiple times. I'm not always able to sit down and make videos, so I had already just looked at it on my phone. I'm sorry. I didn't know the game was going to look as good as it does, but I do want to watch it again and do a bit of like a little react to it. Not really a react, but like just kind of talk about the trailer. But ooh, Avatar Korra and Aang. Avatar Legends: The Fighting Game. Yeah, I know that's not the final name. They definitely need to come up with something a little bit better than that, but it's not terrible. I love the way I love the way this game looks. Do the air combo. I'm sorry. Look at this shit. This looks sick. Like there's people saying this game looks like a what is it, a Flash game? These are 2D hand drawn characters. What are y'all talking about? A Flash game? See, this is people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about saying this retarded ass shit. Saying that it looks like a Flash game. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. It actually reminds me, I do want to mention this was years ago. Dragon Ball Fighter Z was like coming out. And I think most people, 99% of people would agree that that is the most like visually appealing Dragon Ball game, with maybe the exception of Sparking Zero. But even Sparking Zero, I don't think looks quite as good as it. But that's debatable, I guess. But people mostly agree that Fighter Z is an incredible looking game. But there was a ton of comments, and I remember this back before the game came out. People were saying that it looked like a mobile game. Like you can't take people who say shit like that seriously. They're fucking stupid. And it's the same thing here. They see stuff like this. It looks like a Flash game. Why? Because it's not 3D rendered. It's 2D. It's 2D hand drawn. And it looks good. Of course, it doesn't look like the highest production value ever, right? It does look like they have a limited budget, but I mean, that's kind of what I expected out of a Nickelodeon game, right? Nickelodeon's not going to give you a massive budget. Coming summer next year. Ooh. Bro, how can you see this shit and not think it looks good? Bro, it looks like the shows. It looks accurate to the shows. Like, what are we talking about? Do the shows look like Flash games? Nah, it looks like a Newgrounds animation. So that's those takes from people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like as soon as and the funny thing is, some people saying that are saying it in a positive way. Like I like that it looks like a Flash game. Okay, that's cool that you like the way it looks, but it doesn't look like a Flash game. It doesn't look like a Flash game. What are you talking about? Now I understand they do. There's like animation skipping, but that's just a product of it being a lower budget, right? They can't animate every single frame, but I still think it looks good. I still think it looks smooth. It looks solid, and it looks like a fun fighting game, like legitimately. So one thing I do want to talk about though, so there is only going to be 12 characters. I think is this the actual website? There's only 12 characters in this game, which is low. Don't get me wrong, it is a low amount, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so key features right here. 12 playable characters at launch with many more released via season model. Now, I don't know how much the game will be. And I'm going to be honest right now. If the game is $60, I'm still going to buy it. but that is a bit much, I think. Although it does depend. It depends on not only the quality, but it does depend on the single player content. Because look what else we got. We got selectable support characters influence your fighting style and grant special moves. So it does seem like you have some kind of like support character system, which I did hear people mentioning that maybe it's like your support character is like the background characters, because you got Appa right here, but there's also another time where you got what's her name, June? Yeah, she's sitting in like the same spot, which makes me think maybe those are the support characters. They're just kind of in the back and they could like throw out certain moves. That's what I'm thinking that is, but I'm not entirely sure. Unique flow system with movement centric gameplay. I'm not entirely sure how that works. Maybe it's like you could use your bending to your advantage to like move throughout the stage. So like maybe it with Aang you could like blow wind under you and go up. I don't know. That's just a, maybe a single player campaign with original narrative. So we're actually getting an original story. We'll see how the quality of that is. We don't know how good that's going to be yet, but cautiously optimistic. Combo trials, pretty pretty standard for a fighting game. Gallery mode, pretty standard. Best in class netcode and crossplay. That's what I like to fucking hear right there. Not only are we getting what I assume, because it because I hear best in class netcode, that makes me think, okay, so it's gonna be rollback netcode because that's the standard, right? Um, and then crossplay is what we really need with every fighting game, especially nowadays, because fighting games are sort of a they are sort of a niche genre to an extent, right? Of course, like a lot of people love Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Those are like the big ones, but even those aren't quite as big a franchises as like a Halo or a God of War or something like that, right? They're relatively niche, and even most people who play those don't play them seriously. Um, so you need to have crossplay so that people can always keep the communities alive, especially for smaller games. Stuff like DNF Duel or Under Night In Birth, those games don't have crossplay. I think that's a bit of an issue. They should have crossplay because they did not. They don't have the biggest communities. They have their dedicated fans, but it's hard to keep those fans when they're trying to jump online and nobody else is online. But additional features and mechanics to be announced soon. So that's awesome. The game looks great visually, nice 2D animation style. Oh yeah, you could even see there's a. So the thing is, I never watched Legend of Korra. I think because of this game, I will probably go ahead and watch it. Assuming I watch it and I actually like it. I've never seen it, so I don't know how good it is. I know it's not as popular as OG Avatar, but you know, makes sense, I guess. OG Avatar came first. Um, but yeah, I think in preparation for this game, I'll go ahead and watch the show. I might make a couple more videos on this. I do want to make a bit of a speculation video on who I want to be in the game. Of course, we have all of Team Avatar, and then there's also Azula that they showed, and Korra, right? So you got Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, Zuko, and then you got Azula, and you got Korra. So you got 7 characters. So we're only getting 5 more. Now, I don't know how balanced they want the bendings to be. I was thinking about this earlier because essentially, if you were to make it the most balanced in terms of like bending as you could be, at least in my mind, you could do like you could try to do like 2 per like type of character, I guess you could say. I don't know how else to say it. Like 2 firebenders for base launch, 2 waterbenders, 2 earthbenders, 2 airbenders, and then you have 2 non-benders, and then you have the 2 avatars, right? I don't know. That's just like was going in my mind. But if that was the case, then we wouldn't get any more firebenders, and I find that really hard to believe because we haven't seen Iroh and we haven't seen Ozai, and I mean, some people might be upset that a third of the roster are firebenders, but I mean, it is what it is. They're like, Iroh is like a must-have for a lot of people, and Ozai is probably going to be a boss character. So, you know, but who would be a good? Who would be like the best like Earthbender other than Toph would probably be Boomy, right? Um, Maybe the boulder. You know, I'd like to see the boulder in this. Uh, waterbender. I don't know who else they can have as a waterbender. There's other waterbenders in the show, but I can't think of anybody from the original Avatar show that could really fit in super well outside of Katara. You know, of course, you have Katara's the master that taught her at the Northern Water Tribe. I don't remember his name, the old guy. But I doubt he'd be in it. I doubt the blood bending woman would be in it. And other than those two, I can't think of anybody else um, that would be a waterbender. Airbender would probably be Tenzin, which is Aang's son from Korra. So I do know some things. Um, for a non-bending fighter, though, I was kind of thinking like Jet, maybe. I don't know, or maybe like a Suki or a Ty Lee or a Mai. Those would be some good ones. The most likely one would Cat, stop messing with my chair. The most likely one in my mind would probably be Suki or Ty Lee, one of those two. But personally, I think I would like to see Jet. But that's just me personally. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about this. I'm really excited about this game. I think the graphics, the art style is just beautiful. They look a lot like they do in the show. I mean, it basically looks like the show, right? I mean, these special moves at the end are just. I mean, just look at these. You're gonna look at this game and say that it looks bad. Dude, sick as fuck. I'm sorry, bro. If you think this looks like a flash game, your eyes need to be fucking checked. Everybody who thinks something is 2D looking, it just looks like low quality. But I'm telling you right now, 2D is harder to do than 3D. It is. You have to hand draw it. 3D animation is a lot easier to do. It is a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier. They could have made this 3D and it would look a lot shittier and it would be a lot lower budget and there wouldn't be as many people saying it looks like a flash game. It's so annoying. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Y'all have a good day. See ya.